Welcome back to Scatterpot Podcast, episode 67 of 67. Here we are again, coming at you with Scattering Your Pot cast. That used to be the intro like forever ago.
No. Like, Josh used to try to come up with new things every week, but it would almost always fall into scatter your and then then a noun.
Yeah.
Just, like, it was like, but I think scatter your pot was one. There's no way that Josh.
I think it was. Yeah.
I feel like scatter your pot has to be, and sometimes he would say like scatter your ashes to like the far reaches of the mine. Like it was just like this psychedelic trip.
Yeah.
That he went on.
He'd get into it.
Yeah, he would. We definitely. I'm gonna try to get him on in a more formal sense, like where both you and I could be on, where I don't have to sell your soul to a demon lord to get him on.
This is true.
I know it's kind of expensive nowadays. Demon lord, like
it is.
The return policy is like 30-day, but like they were riding my tail because I almost forgot the receipt, and
Yeah, you have to keep your receipt.
Gotta keep your human returns receipts from demon lords.
Oh, I just remember something completely out of the blue.
Okay, that's how this podcast works. But okay, continue.
So Konosuba.
Okay, yeah,
is
fantastic show.
Is getting a Switch game.
Well, okay, yes, I saw this. I saw this because I don't remember. So I think, hold on, I remember finding this out because I was looking at the Nintendo Switch eShop for like cheap games, and I saw a couple different anime-based games on shows I liked, and I was sitting there and I'm like, oh, and for some weird reason, my mind eventually tracked to Konosuba, and I'm like, does Konosuba have a game? And I looked it up, and literally it was like the day they announced. Well, like, yeah, it's weird. Yeah, but no, Konosuba's getting a Switch game. Does it have a release date?
I don't think it does.
Wow. Yeah, but like, oh man, Konosuba. When are we getting that season 3?
Oh, I got another news.
Hugh, please.
No Game No Life is getting a second season.
Are you serious?
In 2021.
No way.
Yep.
How? No way. That's. Where'd you hear this? Oh wait, hold on. I'm looking at articles like right now about it.
Yeah, I don't know much.
Did it?
Other than someone saying some place was like, yeah, we're picking this back up like now, and we're just now starting it.
Is it is it the same studio that did the first season?
I have no idea.
Let's see. Hold on. First, I need to just see, when did the first season come out?
It's a long time ago.
It was. Let's see. The first season started airing, I believe. I don't want to say. I don't know. It wasn't Studio Trigger. That was it. Let's see. Is this it? This is publication. No, that's the books. I don't know what the. Oh, this is the. Yeah, these are the anime. 2014 was when No Game No Life came out.
Yeah, I thought it was.
It 20.
A bit ago.
Oh man, that's so exciting. That is.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I'm glad they picked it back up.
Me too. I am.
We'll see.
Well, because like, it's so weird. Because if you remember, the show ends at a pretty like final point, but then there's like this after credit scene that kind of like.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like they basically set it up to where we beat these guys. Now we have to beat these guys.
Well, sort of the whole idea of the show is like you have to collect all, how many pieces is it? It's 16.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a chessboard.
Yeah, 16. So you're supposed to get all 16 race pieces to fight God or Tut or yeah. And I'm trying to find out which anime studio. It looks like it was Madhouse.
Madhouse.
Yeah, I knew it was it was either Madhouse or Trigger, but I'm like, I know it's not Trigger, but I couldn't think of the name Madhouse. But like, yeah, no, so it's sort of, for anyone, like, the whole concept of the show is that these two people who play games, like, all the time, that's all they do.
Yep.
They wanted a challenge, and this god from this world summons them into his world, introduces them, and he's like, oh, yeah. And they have to basically unify all 16 races, essentially. I mean, they're doing that by taking them over, but it's
Hey, man.
unification, liberation, conquering, tomato.
It's all the same.
It's all the same. So they have to, well, they don't, some of them, they just kind of go like, hey, join our squad, and they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
but most of them, they're like, hey, I'm gonna have to take you out. Like the beast people, I can't remember what their names are. The
little foxes.
Yeah, the one where they played like a giant game of like essentially laser tag.
Yeah, it was basically laser tag.
But yeah, so that's the thing. They have to go to each of these races, and they have to either convince them to join their side or conquer them in a game, beat them in a game, to get their chess piece or their race piece. I can't remember what it was called.
Race piece.
It was something like that. And then once they get all 16 races united, they can then challenge the god to a game of chess.
This is correct.
And it's one of those shows where like the craziest things would happen, and it'd be like, this was our plan the entire time.
This is totally our plan.
Like, dude, that laser tag one where like she's falling off the building and then like a shot like ricochet. I'm like, they're like, it was perfectly calculated. Which honestly, I love that in anime when like the craziest crap happens and they're just like, it was all part of my plan. Just
all part of my plan. See, I thought ahead 20 years in the future.
Yeah, I was about to this.
It's like, what?
It's like we sacrificed her on purpose. And I'm like, are you sure? She looked pretty shocked that she was sacrificed. Just, oh man, and but no, like if you recall the after credits scene, it's them facing like a angel, not an angel, but because we already have an angel. I can't remember what beast it was, but they challenged her to a coin flip. If you remember.
I remember. I know what you're talking about.
And then he flips the coin and it lands straight up in a crack.
Yeah.
And that was it. That's how at the point the series ended.
Yeah, it flipped it. That's the thing though. Like the ending was like,
yeah,
so weird.
Well, because like it ended like because it was after, if I remember correctly, it ended sort of after they beat the animal people, and that was sort of like the wrapping up of the season. And you're like, okay, so like, yeah, but then it gives you this after credit scene, and it's a coin flip, and then they tie the coin. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. In other news, I saw that there was some Destiny 2 news, but I have no idea what it is, and I'm hoping you do.
Yes. So on Tuesday, the new season came out, Season of the Arrivals.
Okay.
And,
How long was the opening event? How long was the opening event?
The live event was terrible, but...
Well, no. We talked about the live event last week, or unless there was another one.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, live event was meh. But anyways, the intro mission was really good. Voice acting was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Added a couple new mechanics. But it doesn't really matter. It's the season. So year 3's coming, or year 4. I think it's year 4. So basically, big fall expansion is going to come out. It's called Beyond Light.
Okay.
And, takes place on Europa, which is some ice planet, and we see the Drifter, Eris, and the Stranger all together going toward a pyramid ship. So that's
Okay.
all we know about the trailer. But what they did announce is that they'll be vaulting some things. So Mercury, Mars, Titan, and I believe Io are all going to be gone and vaulted.
Really?
Yes. That only leaves a few other planets. So like
Yeah.
Moon. I forget. There was one more. There's one giant one. I don't remember. Anyways, we see all this, and they just talked about a lot of different things going into it. Sun setting is coming back.
Okay.
But it was a pretty big announcement because since the darkness is here now, they will actually be able to use the darkness instead of just the light. So there's going to be new darkness, like what is it called? Abilities, I guess, supers and stuff like that. Some look pretty good. Overall, I think it should be pretty good. You can go ahead and pre-order the the pre-order for the DLC and like the season pass and whatnot is $70, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty steep.
What?
Well, okay, that's the deluxe edition, which, I mean, has a bunch of stuff in it. The collector's edition, which is only available on Bungie's website, is $200.
Is 70 the cheapest you can get it for?
I'll check really quickly. I think you can just get the DLC and not the deluxe.
Yeah, what comes in like the deluxe that?
Let me look. It is on Steam, but you have to it's like hidden. Let me see here. Browse. Okay. Actually, I'm only seeing the deluxe edition. But
that's fantastic. Oh my gosh, that's great.
What does it come with? It does not say what it. Oh, okay. It comes with pre-order bonus. You get the new exotic ghost shell, new legendary emblem, and new freeze tag emote. That's the pre-order bonus you get right now.
$70. $70. Like, let me say this. Like, I believe in passes for things. Like, I believe, like, some people think it's dumb that you can buy like all the DLC ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like blah, 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 blah. Just like people get mad about random things, but I'm personally okay with it when it's reasonably priced.
Right.
Dude, well, $70.
Yeah, 70 is
It's a little
pretty steep.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Speaking of DLCs, like I mean, I own the season pass for the new wave of fighters in Smash Bros. Oh, wait, what did you find?
The Beyond Light DLC and the season pass for that season will be $50.
Oh, well, now my whole thoughts and beliefs have shifted. praise Lord Bungie. I'm saving $20. So you're telling me the legendary ghost shell, exotic. I don't remember what the rarities of it.
Exotic ghost shell, legendary emblem, and a new freeze tag emote, exotic emote.
$20, all hail Lord Bungie.
Yeah, I don't see how that's $20, but
I mean, granted, there's probably more, but you can only see those three things. But no, it's funny. There's actually surprisingly like a decent amount of DLC I've bought into. So of course, as I mentioned, Smash Brothers DLC for all the new fighters, because duh, that's just, I love Smash Brothers, and I'll pay for fighters. Recently, the My Hero One's Justice fighting game I play, they have a season pass for all its new characters, and it's complicated. The first proper DLC character just got released. Granted, if you pre-ordered the game, you unlocked a character, and I'm not sure, they haven't specified if this one character is part of the DLC or not. And like, it's just kind of like, yeah, if you have him, you have him. And I'm like, but I don't have him. How do I get him? It's like, you just gotta wait. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Wait. Like, what?
Like, because the character that is the pre-order bonus was Nomu.
Okay.
But you actually, no, you couldn't just pre-order. You had to pre-order it digitally, exclusively digitally, or it wouldn't work. Which is dumb because I pre-ordered it physically and got a flippin' cool poster. And so, like, it's like tomato. Do I want a character?
Wait.
What?
Couldn't you have like pre-ordered it, and then taken the poster and then canceled your pre-order?
Well, that's rude.
And then got both.
But well, honestly, I didn't know that was the case. I thought it was because last time when I pre-ordered the first game, I got the poster, and then on my receipt they gave me a digital code to unlock the fighter. That was the pre-order bonus. So I thought it was the same until I got home and I realized I didn't get a code or anything. And then I was like, wait. And then I looked it up and it's like, yeah, you had to digitally pre-order to get Nomu. And I'm like, I don't.
Bruh.
But the first of their DLC characters came out, and it's Hawks. Of course, it's Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say it, hot take. Hawk sucks in the game. He's so trash. Holy crap, is he trash?
Hey man, he's number 2, is he not?
He's the number 2 hero, but let me tell you, in One's Justice, he's not even top 10. It's so the reason he's so bad is that like he like a very big thing in that game is characters' combo potential without using sidekicks or meter. That's the big like judge on how good a character is.
Okay.
The bigger damage combos you can do without those two things, the better, because then you can add those things in to extend it, make it bigger, make it better. Always. He flippin' has nothing. I was testing him out and doing trying to attempt different combos, and I legit was getting like pity numbers, and I'm like, dude, ugh. And I mean, let me get this straight. If someone practiced him and played him religiously, you can be good with him. And of course, with even the characters who are like bottom tier in that game, you'll come across someone who's playing them in competitive who's like gonna clap you sideways.
They've practiced their whole life for this moment.
Like, for example, in the first game, I practiced Ochako, and she was like a mid-tier character, but I turned her into a monster. So I was determined when I got the second game that I wasn't going to main Ochako. I was not. I was going to try out some of the new characters, test around a couple things, and I had a main for a while. But in this patch that added Hawks, it also added the English voice cast to the game finally. Which was, I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, yeah, you can use English voices now. And I'm like, what? I was looking at the patch notes, and they buffed my girl Ochako, and right now she has a very broken combo, and boy, I'm not gonna lie, I've been playing Ochako. She has this one broken combo that's essentially it's the best kind of combo you can do. Because
she's broken once more.
Right now she's broken, and I don't know how long they're gonna let it stay in before they patch it out, but I guarantee you I'm going to get my competitive rank up while I still can.
Yeah, dude.
Cause,
abuse it while you can.
Well, because, like, so one thing that the game has is they have something called a knockdown, which is sort of like a all holds bar, like, cancel your combo situation, where after you've done a certain amount of damage, the character will get a knocked out status, and they will fall to the ground. They are not affected by anything else. You cannot extend your combo any further. Ochako has a combo that uses no meter, no sidekicks, that can take to a knockout phase. But if you're smart, right before you knock out, you do a certain column move, knock them into a wall, which resets them, and then go into branch. Like, you can basically, if the person you're playing with does not touch their sidekick buttons, you can straight up kill someone without getting touched. She's kind of broken right now, but but boy, am I abusing it.
Abuse it.
I am abusing it, trust me. Also, in other DLC news, this Wednesday, so 2 days from when this podcast will release, the first DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield's coming out, Isle of Armor.
Oh golly, it's been that long.
I know, right? Yeah, it's June. That's when they said the first one was coming out. June 17th is when Isle of Armor comes out. So I'm gonna play that for a good bit. Get my Cubfu and Urshifu. See, this is the one with the Kung Fu Panda, not the Kung Fu Panda, Kung Fu Bear.
Yeah.
Not the weird deer. Nutsack neck or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that thing is, but no, yeah.
I mean, they made a Pokemon an apple. Come on now.
I know, but dude, I love Applin. Don't you sass my Applin. Oh my god. So, one thing I'm excited for this DLC because I get to play more Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Mm-hmm.
But I am super excited for the next DLC, and I'm not sure if he still is because I haven't talked to him about it in a while. But Noah was really excited for the next DLC.
Oh.
Because the winter DLC, the Crown Tundra, is when they basically are releasing every legendary Pokemon in the game.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you can do these cave expeditions and get legendary Pokemon, and I remember Noah and I were just like hype. We were at Hot and Cold naming our favorite legendary Pokemon.
Bruh.
We were going like, and then we have da 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 and da da da. And we're like, don't forget about da da da. I'm like, da da da.
Don't forget about this one.
Yeah, and that was, and we were talking about it. We're like, and we will get
And this one and that
this
one.
Yeah, we were like kids at a Toys R Us before they closed down. Like that one and that one.
I want that one.
Speaking of things that people want, Raid Shadow. No, one day.
Sponsored by Raid Shadow.
One day we will get a sponsor, and I can't wait for that day. But speaking of things everyone wants, the PS5.
This is true.
The PS5, personally, to me, first off, it is the most infuriating thing because of how long they teased us with this stupid thing. Because if you recall, they had a huge thing where they showed off the new logo, and that was like, and then everyone was like, yeah, it's just the same as every other logo, just with a 5.
Correct.
And so this past Thursday, they finally revealed and showed the console.
This is correct.
I want to know, what are your thoughts on the look of the console?
I like it, personally. I like the futuristic look.
I
know a lot of people say it looks like a router.
It does look like a router. I like. Here's the thing. I like it, but I also think it looks dumb. and the reason why is because like I mean, I'm just, so it looks cool, but then I'm imagining like, it's not gonna fit in a lot of rooms it's in.
That's what people were saying.
Because it's like, because I mean, arguably, despite like how ugly or how much you loved or hated the last design of the consoles, those fit in almost any room because they were boxes.
Yeah.
And they were black. They were sleek, unless you got like the Xbox One S, which was white, and even that was like a sleek kind of white. But I saw this PS4 and I was like, I mean, it's a cool design. I cannot knock them for that.
Right.
But it's just, it's kind of just like, it seems excessive to me. Granted, I'm more likely to buy a PS5 than an Xbox One Series X, because Microsoft is starting to use that brain of theirs and release some of their exclusive games on PC.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't need an Xbox One Series X to play Halo Infinite.
This is true.
I can just play that on my PC, and Xbox will definitely have cross-play, so we can play with our boys. So, like, that, and that's one thing, like, I'm wondering how long PS4 is going to stand on their hill of our console exclusives are our console exclusives.
I'd say until they die.
That's
No,
what
honestly.
that's what I'm afraid of too. But have you heard the rumored price for this thing, the PS5?
$500.
Oh no no no.
No.
All right, so here's the thing. A lot of people are assuming that it's going to probably try to stay close to what consoles have been priced at for the last couple years, 500.
Mm-hmm.
But a week before the PS5 event revealed, a Amazon UK website listed the PS5 with a price. Now we have no idea if this price was true or not. Of course, the listing was taken down because, duh.
Mm-hmm.
But Sony never confirmed or denied that price point.
Sure.
It was for, and this is in euros, mind you. It was for 599 euros, which if you do the math, let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna just quickly do that.
599 euros though.
That is 674 USD, and then that's before taxes. So you're paying essentially $700 for.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was like, that news came out like before the event, so I'm like, okay, what's the? I was hoping in the Sony event they would have mentioned like how much it was, but they didn't. So
You don't mind mentioning this?
well, so like the thing is that like I'm not them not mentioning the price scares me more than if they mentioned the price,
right.
because it's sort of like a hey, we're gonna let you guys talk about the cool parts of this for a while and let the publicity of that get around, and then we're gonna release the price. Because if this $700 essentially price was true, that would be the news story of this reveal event, not the games, not the
100%.
not the look of the console. It would be the price point. So that's what scares me with them not mentioning anything, because I'm like, are they purposely letting the publicity kind of air out? Some people say they're playing a game of chicken with Microsoft, because Microsoft hasn't announced the price, but the rumor is Microsoft is deliberately not mentioning the price until Sony reveals theirs, just so they can undercut them.
Sure.
Which makes sense. I mean, Microsoft's like $1 billion company. I mean, like Xbox is not exactly huge for them as well. Xbox is huge, but like not as big as the PlayStation. But you got to remember they own Microsoft.
They don't.
They have billions of dollars to play with. They can afford to take a little extra loss at the beginning of the console span.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. So that's the thing. It's a game of chicken right now. Who's gonna reveal their price first? And
Who will reveal their price first?
I believe Sony will, because again,
Probably.
well, because it's funny, because after their show, you could sign up for notifications for when pre-orders became available, and I'm like, dude, I think, I guarantee you, I'm right that the price is ridiculous. They didn't want that to be the news story, and they didn't want to release pre-order. Like, it's just, I don't know.
700, yeah, that'll be a lot of money.
So, and then I had a discussion with a friend. Should consoles start becoming more expensive like that? Or should they try to stay in their $500 range? What are your thoughts?
I mean, performance-wise, I mean, if it's better stuff, it's going to cost more. But if they want to stick to the 500, 400 type range, I mean, it's going to have to be lower quality parts until those parts become... until the expensive parts become...
cheaper.
Yeah, basically.
Well, so the thing is that allegedly, I was looking into like console, like how they make money off consoles. 9 times out of 10, actually 100 times out of 10, when the console goes for sale, they're selling it at a loss. And the reason they're doing that is to get the install base, because they make more of their money on the games than the console sales themselves. And then, of course, as parts become cheaper, they can make the console cheaper.
Right.
And I was having a discussion with a friend. I'm like, consoles need to stay in that 400 or 500 range, because that's its role. Like in the gaming space, PCs are high end, and they are priced high end. mobile gaming is convenience. Handheld gaming is cheap. But then there's that console space that price-wise needs to stay relatively cheap so people can buy it.
Right.
But once you start getting up to $700, like the debate comes up if do I buy the console or do I save up a little extra and go for a PC? And that there's that whole debate on should consoles try to raise the price if that means they're going closer to the PC market price range wise. Because for $700, you couldn't build a spec'd out machine. You couldn't build like a PS5 level machine, but you could build a decent machine that would do you pretty good. And it's just kind of interesting. It's like, where is the line? Like, what will be the point where the console is too expensive and it's not worth it?
We shall see.
We'll find out.
I think definitely when these release, we'll see.
We'll see the
happens.
turn. Yeah, and it's funny. Like when I'm mentioning these consoles, the Switch is excluded from that because it's sort of in its own little realm of things.
Yeah, Switch is weird. It's not really a console, but it's not a DS type.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not a handheld, and it's not. And that's kind of the reason it's sort of doing as well as it is, because it's just. It's just its own thing. And that's something that's kind of funny, because my friend and I we were talking about like console prices, and he goes, "What about the Switch?" I'm like, "The Switch is something. Don't bring up the Switch is not part of this. It's like the Switch is great, but not part of this conversation, because like, it's just sort of interesting. Just also, yeah, Kinsley got her Switch and she's been playing it a lot recently, so
24/7
practically. And dude, so I'm actually really excited. So Kinsley was at the beach this weekend,
and
I'm so excited for her to come back, only because 7 years ago, My Hero Academia season 4 ended. But the dub got delayed because of the corona, of course.
Sure.
And so I did so me and my siblings, me, Caleb, and Kinsley, we all watched the episodes together when the dub release comes out. But as a sane human being who's a huge fan of the show, I just watched all the episodes.
Right.
Because I had no idea when they were going to release the new dubbed episodes.
Understandable.
So over the last couple weeks, they've been releasing like an episode, but it's been sort of weird. Like they released one week, and then 2 weeks later they released the next one.
Sure.
And then 2 weeks later they released the next one. And so when do you think the next episode would come out?
2 weeks again.
Here we are a month later, and it just came out.
Bruh.
And then and there's still another episode we have to wait on. Granted, I knew this episode was going to be the one that took forever, because this is the second to last episode where you meet like all the pro heroes, and I'm like, that's so many voices. That's so
Yeah.
And you have to like cast new people, like, hey
you.
And so but yeah, no, so I can finally watch that episode for the quote unquote first time tonight.
Wow, this is such a cool episode.
Wow. Sadly, I know what's going to happen because I read the manga. That's the reason. Yeah. Also, oh man, I'm excited because also a new volume of the manga new episode of the manga.
Yeah.
A new chapter of the manga came out today, and I haven't read it yet, but I'm super excited. Dude, I'm so excited for season 6 of not season 5. Season 5 is gonna be great, but season 6, boy, I'm telling you.
About season 7.
I don't think
8, 9, or 10.
Hold on. I don't think I'm at season 7 yet. Granted, season 6. I'm kind of concerned because this arc I'm doing, either this what I'm reading has to be the entirety of season, like all 24 episodes of season 6, or it needs to be split between 2 seasons. And if it's split between 2 seasons, I'd be kind of pissed off because it's kind of a big deal.
Right.
Because I'm going to tell you this, I can't remember a time when I wasn't reading this arc in the book. It's been going, and so much has been happening, and I'm like, dude, I have no idea. So yeah, season 6 is going to be flippin' amazing. Anything else you want to kind of talk about? Because we still...
Let's see here. Not about that. Try that. I'll probably think of something the second. Be like, oh yeah, this thing. But let's see. I mean, Dead by Daylight is getting Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. It's the new killer.
Oh, okay.
It's coming out 16th. It's been in the test server for a little while. He seems like he's gonna be insanely good. But let's see, what other news? Ark Survival Evolved is free on the Epic Store.
A game I really wasn't... Dude, it's funny that we won the Epic Store because Civ 6 was for free, and I think I'm the only one that downloaded. we all talked about getting it, but I legit think I'm the only one who downloaded it.
I think I really was going to, and I literally just kept on forgetting.
So now I have Civ 6, and I'm like... Well, it's funny, because like, I only got it on my PC to play with you guys, because I have it on my Switch, and I play it on my Switch. So, like, when none of you guys got it, I'm like, okay.
You're like, okay.
And then we dropped Terraria like it was a flaming boulder. Like, that... Bro,
okay.
The drop-off on that was... Stupid. That was so funny to me. Just, like...
okay.
Like, we legit...
I have another thing. Continue.
Like, legit, we were just... We were having so much fun. We were fighting bosses, and we just defeated the Eater of Worlds like 12 times.
Yeah.
Because we kept on summoning it to get all the dragon scale armor and stuff like that, and we worked so hard on it, and then just literally we stopped playing that night, and then just
literally dropped
it like it was hot, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is kind of funny. All right, so what do you have for us, Huber?
Hunt Showdown.
Okay, yep. Mm-hmm.
It's a fun game, absolutely fun game. I really enjoy it. I have not played it for a little while, and Daniel hasn't played it for a little while either. And I believe it has become one of those things.
Well, I
think it's become a classic.
So I'm gonna say something that we've mentioned on this podcast before. I know we have.
Yes.
Because we've been talking about this for years, and we've talked about this before. There's no way we haven't talked about this. Daniel has a tendency to introduce you to a game that will be dropped harder than a grand piano down a flight of stairs. It is. Yeah. It is hilarious. And here's the one of the best part. He gets us every time with it. Every freaking time.
I didn't do it for the that one space game.
Well, no. Him and I did No Man's Sky together.
Yeah.
And then that one got dropped hard.
Yeah. I was like, nah, that one's nah.
Like there's if I look at my Steam library, a lot of them are games that he was like, dudes, let's get this game. And then just gets elbow dropped down.
Bro, like with Hunt Showdown, quite literally, we played and I haven't gotten a text from him saying, do you want to play? I haven't gotten that. He said, we talked about, playing. I said, Deceit. Deceit's a free, fun game to play. We should get it. And then Cal wants to get Survival Ark Evolved, but I don't know.
Hold on. He was part of Ark Survival Evolved when it was paid for.
Yeah, so...
He was, like, really into that game, and he tried to get us back into that game back in high school. And we were like,
Yeah, so I'm still on that. But, yes, this is just another classic
Daniel move.
Yes.
Typically with a game that I try to recommend, I typically try to say something that I think we could get some play out of and we could have some fun with. I think I've only had one game that kind of got dropped hard, but it wasn't dropped by me, it was dropped by you guys. And that would be a tabletop sim.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, granted, that made high school a lot more fun when you and I would get bored during, like, a test and we'd open up our laptops and we would play, like, Candyland or Chutes or Ladders. Just...
Bro, that Chutes and Ladders was pretty fun.
What was the one that you, like, was it Candyland? The one that you, like, absolutely hated? Like, every time you saw it, you were like, no!
Bro, I wanted to play Candyland because it was, just reminiscent, right?
Yeah.
We played, and...
and you got screwed by it.
I kept on getting just absolutely screwed.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. That's
terrible.
Yeah. I actually still play Tabletop Sim. My favorite thing to do nowadays with Tabletop Sim, first one is to test out board games I'm interested in buying, like see how they play, see if I can find a game online and have someone like sort of show me the ropes, and I can kind of tell like, okay, this is a fun game, or like, no, this one we're gonna have to pass on.
This one's trash, dog.
And then the second thing I like doing is joining random people's secret Hitler games, because they don't have the precognition of Kanan is a lying dirtbag, shoot him as fast as possible.
Yes.
And so, like, I'll be playing with them, and they're like, oh, I don't know, this Can Man guy, he looks a little suspicious. I'm like, dude, I'm not, though. And
this is my first game, guys.
Yeah, I haven't played this. I don't know what I'm doing.
Guys, please, this is my first game. Go easy on me, okay?
I actually haven't done that. I should do that one time. Like this. Hey, guys, can someone give me sort of a rundown? This is kind of my first time playing, and I just kind of want to make sure I knew what I was doing. And also, apparently, I did not know this. I have infected Victory with Secret Hitler. Caleb says every graduation party he's gone to with his friends, someone has brought Secret Hitler and they've been playing it.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And I'm like, dude, I brought Hitler back. Hashtag 20 raise it. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Hold on. While I'm thinking about this right now, I'm going to turn on my camera just so you can see something. I got a new pop the other day, and
another one.
And it's currently one of my favorites. I ordered this pop back in January.
Oh my gosh.
And it finally came in. Granted, it released this month. I just pre-ordered it back in January. It's let's see if you can get a peek at this.
Iron Man.
It's an Iron Man with the gauntlet.
I am Iron Man.
When he's about to die. Thank you, Screen Glare.
Yes.
Can you see it now, Mr.
I love seeing.
You feel it. You feel it now, Mr. Crab? Yeah, no, it's just Tony Stark on his knees, snapping his fingers. It's a cool.
And then he dies.
And then he dies. Yeah, very sad. Very sad. Okay. I know what we can. So, I think 2020, besides the year of the never-ending death or destruction,
of course,
2020 for me personally has been the years of surprising games. In the sense that like I'll pick up a game, and I'll be like, I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about this game. I'll play it, and then I'm like, holy crap, I really liked that game.
Okay. And
that's happened a couple different times this year. The most recent one is a game I bought on sale. I don't remember if I bought this game early this year or like end of last year.
Okay.
I bought it on sale. It was the new Fire Emblem game for Switch, Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Right.
I bought the game physically. It was on sale at like a GameStop or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been sitting on my shelf since I had not cracked it open. I had not even put it into my Switch. It was just sitting over there collecting dust. And as I was saying to you that one time, I was like, yeah, I'm looking for a new game to play. And I'm like, as I sit in front of
entire library of games,
of games I haven't even touched, like, yeah, I'm looking for something new.
Looking for a new game.
So it was funny. After that episode of the podcast, I was like, you know what? I'm finally gonna do it. I'm gonna play Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of nervous because I've never played a Fire Emblems game before, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it or dislike it. And I was like, all right, let's go. I will say, Fire Emblem 3 Houses is fantastic. I haven't beaten it yet, but holy crap, am I actually enjoying it a ton. Now, there is a high likelihood that I'm going to die of depression before the game's over, because
Sure.
I made a goof. Well, I didn't make a goof, but I didn't so when you start the game, it's like, hey, do you want to play normal or hard mode? And I'm like, I'll do normal. I'm not insane. And then, do you want to play classic or casual? And I looked up what the difference between classic and casual is. Casual is, well, no, classic is permadeath. When a character dies, they're dead.
Oh.
And then I'm like, okay, sure, I'm fine with that. I don't care.
Sure.
And boy, howdy, if any of my characters die, I'm gonna rage. I'm gonna be so upset because so the premise of Three Houses is that you're a guy or a girl, you can choose. You like 2020, you can
Like
choose.
2020, yes.
You-
You choose.
So you play as Byleth, or you can rename your character as well, but I just went with Byleth. And you have recently been accepted. You are now a professor at this school. You are a professor.
Sure.
You choose a house that you want to lead up, and you have students in that class. And your goal is to build a relationship with your students, train your students with either something you want them to become or something that they want to become.
Mm-hmm.
Like for and like your students will come to you and tell you like, hey, I want to start learning archery, and then you can be like, sure, and you can give them archery lessons, and you train them and you build a relationship with all your students. So now I have these students that I'm like trying to better their lives.
Right.
And then we're going into battle and they're almost dying, and I'm like, don't die, don't die.
You dare die.
And like there's one student that if he died, I would be like, no. Okay, guys, let's continue on.
Alright, guys, we'll hold a service.
Because we'll have a memorial service. But the reason why he's sort of like oh no, his name's Lindbergh, and I'm like, no, Lindbergh, no. The reason why is because he's my healer, which you may think, okay, why would you want your healer to die? He has a he's very against murdering and killing people. Every time I've had him in a battle where he's killed someone, he always goes like, I just killed someone. And then he'll come to me in the week and says, please, can I focus solely on my medicinal magic so I don't have to hurt anybody? And I'm like, boy, you're going to kill people. I'm sorry.
You're gonna kill people whether you like it or not.
And so, but yeah, no, I have all my students and I love them all. And boy, they do give you I mean, granted, I could save scum and just like reset the battle.
Right.
But I'm not gonna do that. They do give me per battle a couple rewinds of time. Like I can rewind time, but very limited amount of times. But it's funny to me because one of my students almost died, but then had like you've seen that Street Fighter video of that one guy who's about to die, and then he blocks the combo and then releases the winning combo blow.
Yes.
Essentially that happened. The student's name is Hubert with a T at the end. That one, like, yeah, I was like, wow, I have a student named Hubert, and I'm like, I need to make sure this one doesn't die, or
Yeah.
Hubert will be mad at me. He's currently studying the dark arts magic.
Alright.
Yeah, but Hubert almost died. He was at like 3 health, and I'm like, this is it. Hubert's about to die. Rest in peace, Hubert. Because like I used all my rewinds so far in that game, in that fight, and I'm like, here we go. Rest in peace, Hubert. Hubert's about to die. 3 soldier troops go up to Hubert. He dodged and killed every single one of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm in my room silently screaming as he's just, dodging all these like swords and arrows, and then shooting like these dark beams of energy that are exploding landscapes, and he's just like, and I'm like, Hubert, Hubert, I'm so glad you didn't die, because boy, would I be upset if you died.
It is the god character. He could not die.
Yeah, no, but it's a fun game. Really enjoying it. Now, some people say they love it enough that they played it 3 times. I don't think I'm gonna be that much of love for it, because so when you start the game, you have to choose one of 3 houses, and I chose the one with the waifu, of course.
Of course.
You get to meet all the students. Like, for example, hold on, I'm just gonna show you. I want you to see if you can guess which house I joined. It's gonna be tough. Trust me, you're not gonna be able to figure it out. Yeah, it was a very hard decision for me. I couldn't think of who I wanted as my companion throughout the entire game. Could not decide. It was truly, it was my greatest test ever, deciding which house I wanted to join with. It was very tricky. Oh, wow, that picture is so tiny. You can't see. That is really small. hold on. Give me a second. I'll get you a better one. I click on it in all right. Is this bigger? Is this? No, that one's just as small. Can I please get, like, here we go. That's a proper. Yeah, here we go. All right, save as. Yeah, it was very tough for me to decide who I was gonna join. Click open original. Yeah, it was a very tough decision for me. You have a Claude there on Clyde, the yellow one on the left. You have my sweet queen Edelgard, and then you have Dimitri on the right. Can you tell which one I joined?
Dimitri.
Of course. No, and Edelgard's also an axe wielder, so she's just a baller.
Alright.
I picked the Black Hawks, as they're called. No. What is that school called? It's something Hawks. Eagles. Black Eagles. That's it. The Black Eagles.
Black Eagles.
Might be the Red Eagles, but I can't remember.
Red Eagles.
The Eagles.
The Eagles.
I teach a class of students. What class do you teach? I teach the Edelgard class. The
Eagles.
The Eagles. Go Eagles.
Go Eagles.
Yeah, no, and so, but like some people said that they've played the game 3 times so they could experience each route of the 3 houses, because apparently the 3 of them are very different. And I'm like, boy, I don't know. Maybe depending on how the Edelgard run ends, if it ends like a holy crap, what happens in the other classes? Maybe I'd start again. But I'm telling you, my second and third time, I would not read a single dialogue box. I would just kind of like skip. And fast forward through every cutscene, like, yep,
Yeah.
Until a new one came up, and I'd be like, oh, what happened? But yeah, Fire Emblem 3 Houses is a great game. Having a ton of fun with it. My class. Let me see if I can find a picture of all my students. Fire Emblem 3 Houses. Is it the Black Eagles? Black Eagles. I was right. Yes, the Black Eagles. Yes, I was right. Whew, I was scared for a second. Let's see. Here's my Black Eagles. My beautiful class. Click open original. You can see. Oh my gosh, no, you can't even read that.
Well,
I'm gonna share my. Wait, hold on. Let me see if I open this image in a new tab if it's bigger. All right, yeah. All right. No. I'm just gonna share my screen with you so you can see it better. That's the wrong screen.
Nice.
So we have Hubert. My sweet Edelgard. Ferdinand. He has a thing for the ladies. Linhart. Nah. He's the one that refuses to kill anyone. We have Caspar, Bernadetta, Dorothea, and Petra. And I love all of them.
These names.
I know. I mean, but yeah, no, I love all of these students. He's the dark magic user. He's a lance user. He's a healer. Axe wielder. She's wanting to become an archer warrior, which is like a combination of a lance user and a archery user. Dorothy is a magic user, and then Petra is a sword user who wants to learn axe work. And I'm not gonna lie, Petra's the strongest of them all. I mean, Edelgard's of course the strongest, but like of the students, she is definitely the strongest. She like destroys on the battlefield.
Destroyed.
The weakest one right now, I mean, would be Linhart, but he's never in battle, so he never gets hurt. So it'd probably be Dorothea. She's the weakest right now. And I'm trying to get Dorothy and Ferdinand to become friends because they both hate each other, and which is not good for morale on the battlefield. So I'm forcing them to do chores together. So hopefully they become friends.
Get along.
I know. It's very complicated. I'm trying to make everyone happy. It's very tough. I'd never know who to take to lunch. Yeah, every day that you roam around the school, you're allowed to invite students to like lunch or training to like work on them, on your relationship with them. And I'm always like, who do I want to take to lunch? And I'm like, well, I need to become closer with Hubert and Bernadetta. I'm like, so who? So if I make some tuna fish, I can invite both of them. And it's kind of that number. It's a very fun game that, I'm not gonna lie, when you're reading all the tutorial pages, it's very intimidating.
Right.
Because they'll like give you these text walls of tutorial pages that you're just like, oh god. One thing that's been helping me out is that, so you only do stuff on weekends. Throughout the week, you don't do anything. It just fast forwards like you're teaching a class. And I'm like, you know what? That's kind of smart. If I had to go in and teach a class every day, I'd be kind of bored. But like fast forwards, you teach, and then sometimes a student will go like, hey, I have a question for you. And then you're like, here you go. And then they're like, cool, thanks, professor.
Cool, thank you.
And it's like, yep. It's like, I am a professor who I'm pretty sure my character is only like 4 years older than all these students. I have no idea. But like, I don't look as old as some of the other professors. There's one professor that is seriously hitting on me.
Wow.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Hold on. All right, I'm gonna share my screen again so you can see. Her name's Manuela, and yeah, she shows up a lot, and she's like, hello, and like she kind of does her own thing, and she's just like, yeah, you must be the. Yeah, look, this is the first thing she says to you.
How stern and handsome you are.
Yeah, and look, my dude's just kind of like, just one. And actually, another thing I really enjoy is that the entire game is voice acted. Like, all of it is. So
That's pretty nice.
it is pretty nice, because typically that's where I lose a lot of interest in the RPGs like this, is where I'm just sitting there like reading text and just like, I feel like I'm taking the SATs again, and it's like, which sentence could have been placed in a different way. Yeah. But yeah, no, so yeah, unless you have anything else you want to talk about, I think we need to start the wrap up of this.
No, I don't think so, other than movie trailers were originally shown after the movie, which is why they were called trailers.
Is that your fun
Boom.
fact of the day?
Yes.
Is that true?
It is true.
I wish I could do oh, that sounds like something someone made up, but like I can't prove it wrong, if that makes sense. That's wow. That makes sense. And let's see. Weird news, I forgot to look something up.
That's what they said about the trailer.
Oh wait, we need to. The problem with trailers showing up after the film is the audience. Well, yeah, no duh. I was about to say. I'm just imagining, like, back in the 50s, like, hey, see, no one's sticking around for the trailers.
Like,
then,
what do we do?
Put the trailers in front of the movie. It's like, but they're called trailers. Exactly. Just that.
Exactly.
And then the only thing I can really find is a classic Florida man. It's kind of a sweet story, but I mean, it's only Florida man fist fights alligator to save dog.
Doesn't get any more Floridan than that.
I know. Trent Twaddle. Twin Twaddle. Twin Twaddle. And his said him and his 6-year-old dog Loki were walking Monday in his Wesley Chapel farm when a 13-foot alligator reached out from the water and grabbed the dog. I grabbed the dog by the collar to try to pull him back, and I ended up in a tug-of-war match with this gator, and the gator was not letting go. So I let go of the collar, and I got about knee-deep in the water and started pounding on the gator's head until he eventually let go. He ended up with minor scratches, but Loki's front leg... Oh, his dog needed emergency surgery. His dog is fine, though.
Mm-hmm.
But his leg was severely hurt. When I pulled him back... Yeah, that's a little graphic. I'm not going to talk about that with a dog. It's basically the arm was... The leg was barely attached.
Nice.
They put metal plates and screws with blah 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 blah. He said a Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission trapper helped him set a trap for the gator on his property. The trapper did not have any bait, so I grabbed one of my roosters and we used that as bait instead. we haven't had any luck yet, Tweedle said. We love our dog a lot, and I'd fight tooth and nail for him. Twaddle said he has 6 more roosters in the freezer that could be used as bait.
Nice.
It's like, I had to punch that croc. We're setting up a trap. We didn't have bait, so I grabbed one of my roosters.
Grab my rooster.
We haven't caught him yet, but guess what? I have 6 more roosters.
I have 6 more. Don't worry about it. Don't you worry a thing.
And also, how do you think you would pronounce his name? I'm going to type it to you in the chat. Like, this is his first name's Trent, but his last name is... That did not copy over at all. Let's see. Control. I'm hitting Control, right? Yeah. C. And then Control V. That's his last name. Tweddle.
Twiddale.
Twiddale. Yeah. Welcome to
Twiddale.
Yeah, alright. Well, this has been episode 67 of 67 of the Scatterpot podcast.
That's
Join
right.
us next week as we talk about probably something dumber than what we talked about this week. But you guys keep listening to it, so we'll keep making it. One day we'll be sponsored, and you won't be ready. I'm going to have the greatest sponsor segue of all time. Huber, where can they find us?
They can find us everywhere except what? You said Pandora, right?
Yeah, Pandora.
Yeah, you find us everywhere.
I submitted our stuff to Pandora, and then they said it was like, okay, I couldn't find it. And then when I tried to log back into the account I created it with our podcast email, it straight up just wasn't letting me in. And I'm like, cool, Pandora's a lost cause.
Pandora's out. So we have that. So the Scatterpot podcast, of course, and then YouTube. We have to make sure because of Scatterplots, we get very confused. YouTube doesn't like us, so we have to do the Scatterpot podcast.
The Scatterpot Productions. Remember, we changed the name.
Oh, I keep on forgetting. Scatterpot Productions. Excuse me.
You can check our failed gaming channel that hopefully will continue once everything eases back up at Scatterpot Gaming. And then where can they find our Instagram that's also dying because we haven't this coronavirus isn't killing our podcast, but it's killing everything connected to our podcast. Yeah. Because we haven't been around each other to do any. But what's our Instagram, Huber? You never get this right. Let's see if you can
Scatterpot_podcast.
Look at you.
Yeah.
I have been Kanan.
I have been David. Yeah, but Scatterpot podcast. Yeah,